So, as far as the Department of Social Services, what they put in the Valerie Winhold put in the report was Shania wasn't with me until she was 13. Here in this picture where we all have pink on, Shania is 10 years old. She turns 11 years old the next month after this picture. So this is her 10 years old. This is Shania right before she turns 12 years old. This is her while she's 11. So as you can see, I was incarcerated 2002, 221 to 2002 to 4/6 of 2007. Kathleen Hedges, Prince William County probation officer, violated me for refusing a polygraph for the 2002 case. And the same thing I said to the lady, listen, Judge Millette denied me, Prosecutor Mr. Ebert denied me, the court-appointed attorney Robert King denied me, and Prince William County Police denied me. Why would I do 5 years and do a polygraph for you? I don't give a damn what you don't know. You supposed to find that out before you convicted me. That's why you convicted me, because you said you was for sure that whatever you said happened. But you wasn't, because you were making up a case. So you went through 2 decades and then turned this case from 2002 it ain't gonna let me pull up nothing. It should probably fall apart. This what it do. Don't nothing work when you need it to. Let's see. Let's see, it might not load up nothing for you now. So let me see, I do have it. Okay, so let me show you. Okay, that's the wrong way. So this is a 2002 case. This was Senior Justice Millette Jr. and Commonwealth Prosecutor Paul Ebert. This is when I start figuring out, Chris was saying that you was involved with the feds and the police based on what was going on and how, y'all could just make up something. So as you can see, this was an abduction charge, right? This was an abduction case, right? And this is the case right here. This is the initial case, right? And Charles White III, he is a witness, right, with a judge trial. So they just not processed. They didn't even worry about me. They just threw it out, right? So they used my attorney, Robert King, to assist them in not telling me about what happened right here, right? So he's telling me I can't fight this because he's not telling me any of this. I found this out afterwards. And because I found this out afterwards is why the Commonwealth of Virginia targeted me for 2 decades. The reason why they couldn't come at me like they did, they had to wait until my mother died because my mother wouldn't go along with them doing this. So that's why. So then they recreate another case where I'm a serial rapist for a misdemeanor, sexual battery, right, is the charge, but it's under a felony code section, right, claiming that this was more than 2 people or more. Now, none of this is true. All of this is made up. None of this happened. This is the agreement that they made with them, all of the informants in the case. I'm the only one who did not inform in this case. Everybody else in this case had to be informants. No way around it. I've looked at their backgrounds. First of all, the reason why it doesn't make sense, because when I looked at the backgrounds and to see the criminal history, if you already previously have a sexual offense in your criminal history, and the Commonwealth of Virginia is covering it up for you, plus allows you off on this charge, and later on when you commit more charges down the road, you'll also be let off on those. I mean, even if you do the time, you don't have no issues with, jobs, none of the things that they're targeting people for to prevent them from being stable. This is not happening to you. So therefore, the understanding, but this is what they had on this is a misdemeanor under a felony. So please don't tell me that there's any laws, okay? So then they recreate a case with my brother, Leontay Carroll, who's an informant, with Demetrius Perkins and Andre Hines and Christopher Stanley and the rest of your Del City, gang people. This is y'all gang shit. So, I'm not against it. Gang. I know that's the real shit, so I'm not against that. Real is real, and this is real, so I ain't against what y'all doing. I know informant and, targeting young people for the government. That's, as long as you get in the bag, you doing great. I'm not against it. I'm just saying it ain't for me, but I understand. So, while, this is in 2009 when Jakia Carroll Vontesis, y'all know her, she made the social media and this is what started happening. So Shania, I ended up moving Shania away from them, and nobody had contact with Shania. So Andre Hines, 11/10/2011, the federal McBride thing. And this right here, you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of the stuff that they be saying, they was trying to come at me with and say, it showed me how sick, demented, twisted, and really stupid we are as people. Because, like, this is something that you all chose to do. It had nothing to do with me. So we're not going to pretend or play here that I'm involved in something based on you committing a crime and needing to help the federal government. You know what I'm saying? These two men, when they did this case, I didn't have a criminal history, so they needed to use you, Andre Hines, Demetrius Perkins, Leontay Carroll, Jakia Carroll Majors, Taisha Carroll, Aisha Carroll, Timothy Armstead, any of the other relatives, that was assisting and informant, because everybody you see together, how they tell you they together, they doing it together, okay? Whatever's going on is done together, so don't be confused. You're absolutely right. That's exactly how it's going. And just like they said, we all do this and not her, meaning me. So we're clear on that too. So they did their little, this the federal agent McBride 2012 drug bust, right? So let me show you the 2012 drug bust. This is once Shania was moved away from them. You know what I'm saying? Because you remember in the Prince William County Court report, it states that Shania wasn't with me until she was 13. But let me just do it now so I can just show you. It's, you know what I'm saying, 2009, they locked me right back up from 2007 for 2.5 more years. So this was 7.5 years. That was the second time they had incarcerated me on the 2002 case. They incarcerated me 3 times on the 2002 case. After they did a federal drug indictment in 2012 on the 2002 case, then they started changing the case into a predator case. Today in 2020 is officially a predator case, and I'm a danger to my son. So this is done through my relatives, again, and informants, okay? They came up with some Aisha Carroll, Taisha Carroll, Jakia Carroll, and Leontay Carroll, and Timothy Armstead, Jakia Carroll, and directly involved in the displacement of Shania, because this is who Prince William County. So Prince William County gave the child. See, she was doing good. She got invited to the National Juniors Honor Society. She stayed on honor roll from 2009 at the end of Penn Elementary, from 2010 through 2011 in 6th grade in Babel. Then 2011, 2012, 7th grade honor roll. And then 2011, 2012, she was on honor roll until the feds had locked me up, and she ended up dropping out of school, and she was being processed and soliciting all over the social media to adults. And it was set up very, very You could tell adults set it up well. This is the federal agent McBride's federal drug indictment. This is a federal drug indictment. Okay? A federal drug indictment. Now, there's no drugs involved after you investigated me. You still did a federal drug indictment and then decided to incarcerate me for a year based on me being homeless, because I was going into a program which Virginia State Police, Trooper Best, you know, she was aware, like, the people was aware that they was doing this and this was happening. So at first, you know, I was real upset and all this. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to deal with. People don't act like it's not easy. But me, I'd have been through a fucked up life all my life. Don't mean to say it that way, but I have. Okay, so me, I'd rather just accept reality. Okay, if this is what we're doing, this is what we're doing. The thing is, I don't mind y'all doing none of the stuff you're doing. You know, I don't mind you molesting the children because it's a cool thing. That's what you're saying. That's what all the good and upstanding people is for. Who am I to say any different? I'm a nobody. I don't have no right to say that. You're absolutely right. You're supposed to molest Shania. You were supposed to, like, you got Kemonte with the predator, foster parent here in D.C. The way that y'all target him, the things that y'all do to these children, it's severe, you know what I'm saying? But this is going to continue on. So, I mean, what the hell? Nothing I can do. But this is a federal drug indictment that was set up by Demetrius Perkins and Andre Hines and Christopher and Stanley and, you know, all your 274 VA peoples. This, you know what I'm saying? So this is what this files right here that I'm showing you. These are the official records from my son's court disposition for education neglect. That's where they put that in there. The whole education neglect in D.C. is about the 2002 case. So that people in the public will not, you know what I'm saying, come out or stand up or none of that. They made it into a predator case. There's no case concerning any legal things with me and Shania. The case for the neglect and abuse of Shania does not even involve me. This was something set up by a DSS worker in Prince William County, Rhonda Brundage, and Valerie Winhold and Alice Harris. Prince William County Police told me out of their own mouths that Shania soliciting herself and other children is not illegal, and she was allowed to do that. May 6th, you know. So this is what my sister had posted. Turn up. This what she posted that morning while they were arresting me because they had Shania again. So they telling me these are family issues, but it's not. This right here is when they moved her baby father, Demetrius Perkins. The federal agents relocked me up, incarcerated me 10/26 2013 using the Virginia State Police, and illegally held me in custody while he was trying to convince the judge that I was selling drugs with him. This is how I knew my family was involved in informing. My brother would have never went for him being an informant and sending the feds in his house if he wasn't aware that the feds was already coming in his house and that he wouldn't be under any type of risk, because the feds actually came and they only looked through my stuff. They didn't look through any of his stuff, so it didn't matter if he would have had any illegal stuff in there. They weren't concerned. That's not how that go. You don't get no parachute like that. If the feds is coming somewhere for somebody for a drug indictment, everything in there is being searched. Everybody, you know what I'm saying? But they didn't. So that's how I knew about the, you know what I'm saying, suspected. This is 2014. All of the people that was involved in everything with Shania and you know, made sure Shania was with the relatives and gave custody to Timothy Armstead because he had physical and legal custody. So later on, when they tried to charge me claiming, you know, abuse, that's crazy. But what this is the email that I sent on March 31st, because you remember, this is the month that Shania used to say that she was abused. But I can show you every day of this month with all these different agencies fighting for Shania. So because I was filing on these agencies, they used the child to target me for this date, because this is when I'm fighting with the federal probation officer. March of 2014 is when the federal judge dismissed the federal probation officer violation. So if I was involved in any kind of abuse with this child, why would the same federal people that post this? Because when they did this, they picked me up in the morning and took me from both of my kids. I was not separate from my kids. They took me from my kids and displaced my kids to do this. So this was in 2012, and it went on until now. So, as far as the records and stuff that's concerning my life and everything, I'm sharing that with the public just for my son. Other than that, I don't want nobody concerned about me. I do not care about dying or none of that. I'm sad about not being with my son. Other than that, it's not that big of a deal. You know what I'm saying? I've done what I could do in this world. If I was meant to be here, God would keep me here. So obviously I ain't meant to be here, and I'm okay with that. Point blank, period. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to run around and beg somebody for me to be able to work and to be able to take care of myself and have a life and do normal things because, they're upset about, trying to create a false case for two rich white millionaire men, Mr. Paul Ebert and Mr. Millette Jr. What the fuck can I do? I don't matter. So I don't want to disrespect your master, or, I don't want to disrespect none of you. I understand, do what master says. It's great. Target your black people. I'm all with you. Great. Do your thing. I just don't want nobody lying to my son. So in saying that, that's my only agenda. This is going to...
Damn, bro. I forgot my charger.
All of this is going to continue on regardless. So, I got to go. It's time for my son's meeting. Where is it at?